This is the Midway region, a Pokemon region based on the Midwest. And today, we're going to take a look at the starter Pokemon. These are the starter Pokemon of Midway: Nevicine, Hiscode, and Gluggalug. However, these are their old designs. In the last video, I remade some of the earliest Pokemon designs of the Midway region, and in this video, I'll not only be talking about the starter evolutions, but their new designs too. So, these are the new designs of the starter Pokemon. And to be honest, not much has really changed. It's mostly just an upgrade into my current style of rendering. If it's not obvious, the one who has changed here the most is Gluggalug. I mostly just wanted to change the hair and the proportions a bit. That being said, I want to discuss what my plan is behind these starters. Way back, when I was originally creating the idea for these starter Pokemon, I wanted to come up with a theme to follow, just like the other starter Pokemon of the other regions. Like how the Unnovan starters are all based on different countries/kingdoms, and the Galar starters are all based on something found/known to be in the UK, and so on and so forth. I believe that the Midwest is known for its strong community values, and with that thought in mind, I wanted to make starters that can help one another and make everyone better and stronger. Because of this, I came to the conclusionary question of, what is something that everybody needs? And then it was simple. I will have the starters be based on the concept of food, water, and shelter. Originally, I wanted the fire starter to be food, since fire cooks things, and the grass type was going to be shelter, like lean-tos and whatnot. But after a bit of brainstorming, I figured it would be better for the food starter to be grass, since grass type can grow their own food, and with the fire type representing shelter, it can keep you warm during the harsh Midwest winters we are known to have. And of course, water was always going to be the water starter, that's just a given. In their first stages, the starters only have a slight connection to their assigned feature. With Nevicine, it uses its sharp claws to chop up and prepare simple food, and it will use its strong nose to smell out the best ingredients. Hiscode have their hood, which can protect them from the elements. As it isn't quite big enough to protect others yet, it will still try to cuddle up with you to keep you warm, or even try to absorb the heat if you are too hot. Gluggalug will store water in its water bottle shaped hump, and will purify it with the mineral stones that hold the water in. With this info, I think you should be able to see where I'm going with this. And that being said, I want you to take a moment, pause the video, and go down to the comments and give me a guess to what you think the final typings for the starters are going to be. Leave a timestamp with your comment, because I'm going to ask you the same question later in the video, and we'll see if you can get it right. So, let's jump right into it. These are the middle evolutions of the Midway starter Pokemon. Let's go through one at a time. At level 16, Nevicine will evolve into Angiosu, a pure grass type and the sous chef Pokemon. Angiosu will use their newly adapted claws to slice and dice through the food they prepare. And with a nose even more powerful than before, they will dig through the earth and even through rocks to find the best ingredients. They haven't really gotten used to the new height, however, and are rather clumsy. At level 16, Hiscode will evolve into Cuddlisk, a pure fire type and the hoodie snake Pokemon. Cuddlisk will use their newly developed hoodie-like shedded skin to try and protect others in whatever way it can. They can often be found coiled around the waist of their trainers to regulate the trainer's temperature and keep them comfortable. It is also because they get cold easily and tend to shiver a lot if left alone. At level 16, Gluggalug will evolve into Hoisistern, a pure water type and the water tower Pokemon. Hoisistern now have a much heavier hump that carries a lot more water, and this causes them to be rather slow at first. They are often embarrassed about sharing their water with others, since it's very awkward for them with their long scrawny legs. However, they use this opportunity to strengthen themselves to become tougher than stone. So, these are the three middle evolutions of the starters of Midway: Angiosu, Cuddlisk, and Hoisistern. Do these middle evolutions change which starters you would pick at all? Let me know in the comments below if it does, or even if it doesn't. Make sure to like this video and subscribe for more videos just like this one. The Midway region isn't even close to being done yet, so subscribing now will be the best decision you can make this year. Now, you can see that the concept of these starters become more and more evident, with Angiosu becoming more of a chef to represent food, Cuddlist gaining more protective gear against elements, and Hoisestern getting more / better water to carry around. Just like I said earlier, to leave a comment with a timestamp, this is your time to reply to your first comment with a new one. Take another guess at the starter's final typings. If you changed your mind, let me know, or if you were right from the start, let me know too. Alright, all finished? Good. Now, let's take a look at the starters of Midway and their final evolutions. At level 36, your partner Pokemon, Angiosu, will be ready to evolve. This is Alquazine, a grass and steel type, and the final evolution to Midway's grass type starter Pokemon. Alquazine are commanders of the forest. They will send out the weaker Pokemon to gather ingredients that it desires, and after all the ingredients it chooses have been found, it will judge what was picked. But not to be mean. It uses this as a teaching moment to help the Pokemon of the forest to learn which foods are the best tasting while also the most nutritious. After gathering the ingredients together, it will cook up an amazing meal to share among the forest Pokemon. It will always be the last one to eat. It is said, if you ever get an apple from atop Alquazine's head, you will never be able to eat a regular apple ever again. At level 36, your partner Pokemon, Cuddlisk, will be ready to evolve. This is Hiskogon, a fire and ice type, and the final evolution of Midway's Fire's type starter Pokemon. Hiskogon will travel the grasslands, looking for those in need of help. Since the grasslands are open and exposed to the elements, Hiskogon will try to protect any Pokemon they can. With their large coat, they can create an interior room, and within their coil, they have the ability to keep you warm in the winter and even cool in the summer. Hiskogon, in the wild, are often found with several other wild Pokemon within their coat, and they maintain the structure of sorts with strict rules, so no roughhousing. At level 36, your partner Pokemon, Hoisestern, will be ready to evolve. This is Chugalump, a water and rock type, and the final evolution of Midway's water type starter Pokemon. Chugalump can be found all over Midway, sharing its fresh water with whomever needs it. With its strong and sturdy legs, and its ability to go without water for months at a time, it can make even the most perilous of journeys. It uses the well-maintained and choice-cut stone to add to its diet, as only the best minerals can make the purest of waters. It is said that drinking the water from a Chugalump will make you feel better than you ever have before. It is said it can even make you happy on the darkest of days. From Nevicine, Hiscode, and Gluggalug, to Angiosu, Cuddlisk, and Hoisestern, and finally, to Alquazine, Hiskogon, and Chugalump. These are the fully evolved starter Pokemon of the Midway region. Now, the ideas of food, water, and shelter are fully realized. Alquazine is a chef, but not only, it grows its own food, being that of apples, which are hugely popular here in the Midwest. Hiskogon has become a teepee, a traditional housing unit for that of the Native Americans found in the region, and Chugalump has a water tower on its back. Not only a large water storage device, but a staple for any Midwest town. So, what do you think of the starter Pokemon's final evolutions? Let me know in the comments if you got your type guesses correct, and also let me know if there's anything you don't like about the starter Pokemon. In addition, starting today, you can find the completed Pokedex listings for the starter Pokemon on my Instagram page. Take a look on there if you want to see the Pokemon fully finished with their layouts. I don't have much else to add, but this isn't it for the starter Pokemon. Of course, the starters will have their own urban and rural forms. Plus, the starters may have looked different than they do now long ago, before the Midway region was even called Midway. Keep your eyes peeled for more videos in the future. The electric type is next, and the Pokemon in that video might be rather shocking. But for now, make sure to like and subscribe, and keep those running shoes on, trainers.